time for
EJ's Neato Saturday Night.
Presented by no one.
Come on, man. Can't get a sponsor.
Saturday, Adamsville Recreation Center in Atlanta, junior NBA event marking the MLK weekend. Tournament for middle school kids from Metro Atlanta. They heard from the likes of Malcolm Delaney from the Hawks and the Dreams' Tiffany Hayes, Mike Glenn, Jim Washington. We had an absolutely
Ernie,
wonderful
you wear a suit
time.
everywhere?
And you know what? This was my favorite, one of my favorite points of the whole day. I had written down some of my favorite quotes from Dr. King and was going to intersperse those in our presentation. And then I looked out at these sea of faces of these kids, and I said, give me a starting five. And all these hands went up, and I think they thought maybe they're going to do something on the floor. Had them come up and just one by one read those Dr. King quotes.
That's great.
It was cool. Take a look.
The time is always right to do what is right.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I'll move over here for you. Number 4.
What number 4?
I realized beginning to end the day we became silent about things that matter.
And number 5.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Some of the greatest wisdom from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I just love those kids, and it was just to hear, the guys were great. Mike Glenn, Jim Washington, 10-year veterans, been around a while, and then Malcolm Delaney, Tiffany Hayes. And it's just a good feeling to look out, and they were so attentive, and the parents and coaches were in there too. It was just a great day.
You know, this is just such a special day for everybody who you just want to feel so proud of those kids, because Dr. King and Medgar Evers and Malcolm X and all those great black leaders, Rosa Parks, they did so much heavy lifting to make it what me, Shaq, and Kitty can do what we wanted to do growing up. And you can never say thank you enough. And you hope those kids listen to our show earlier tonight, and we were talking about education, 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 because you don't know what you can accomplish until you try, Ernie.
And you hear about, like, the conversation we had with Hank Thomas,
yes,
one of the Freedom Riders. We could have stayed there all night long and listened to all of his stories from those years.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, going through to the Civil and Human Rights Center, you know, gives you an awareness that it's not really about separate but equal, but level playing field. And having the opportunity to do the same thing at the same time with the same people, that's the difference. I think it's also, as my 8-year-old Malloy said, he said, you know what, the only difference between people is inside, and that's it. And so we acknowledge that today.
It's an honorable day. We celebrate this day every year, but I urge Americans to live every day like this. Every day should be about peace and inclusion and, you know, helping others and doing the right thing. But, you know, great day. Thank you, Ernie and TK and Jeremy, for taking us to the center. I actually learned a lot. And, you know, listen to the guy who was a Freedom Rider. He has some great stories.
And to this entire crew here, our studio crew, who's been on the go and setting up what was really to give a tour of that center. That's not easy. So, crew, again, thank you much. Been a wonderful day.
Sean.
And we appreciate you all spending your day with us.
Biggie, good job, Biggie.
That's a wrap for Inside, presented by Kia,
Underdog.
Kenny, Shaq, and Charles, Ernie Johnson.
Ant,
Good night.
Good job, Ant.
Chuck's
From
boy,
Atlanta.
Ant.